Hi everyone, Elliot Jacobson here. It is August 10th, 2021, and today, if you go to news.google.com or you look on a lot of the news websites, you will see that the IPCC report is hard to find among the top news stories. The big stories are that we passed the infrastructure deal here in the United States, and that ex-Governor Cuomo from New York, and I use ex, he resigned today. So those are the huge stories in the news. All right, what's not in the news is the ongoing destruction of this planet, the ongoing overheating, and all of the disasters taking place worldwide. I don't feel like I want this to be a news organization. That is not at all what I have in mind. But look, it keeps going. So the disaster in the news today, the really big disaster that's happening on the planet, are these fires in Greece. I don't know if you've been paying attention to that or not, seeing images of masses of people fleeing Greek islands as they are burning up. So if you go to Twitter under Greece is burning, you can see some of these pictures. You can get a sense for just what things are like there. So yeah, and of course, what's going on at the same time with this is a huge heat wave in this part of the world. So temperatures over 110 degrees Fahrenheit. I apologize to all you sea people out there, but just devastating fires. This whole country is on fire. And I checked out one of the places where they're having a fire from one of these tweets just to see where that was exactly. So here's Greece, Italy and Greece, and here's Athens down in the corner there. And this little area right here was where one of the fires was taking place. I guess you can see these fire icons on Google Maps to sort of give you an idea for that. So that's where this stuff is taking place. Another one of my sites I like to visit just to sort of see what's going on all over the world, being kind of a weather fan, is this site called climatereanalyzer.org. And if you go there, you can find sort of a global map, and it allows you to click on it, and then you can see sort of, well, right now we are on the 2-meter temperature, so this is the current temperature on any given location on the planet, so you can see, or you can get a global map. Maybe not as good for the northern and southern latitudes if you use a map like this, but it certainly gives you a good idea of the central latitudes. What I like to click on is this 2-meter temperature anomaly. So that tells you how much warmer or cooler it is at a height of 2 meters than the baseline, which I believe they use the 1979 to 2000 base. Now the current baseline is the 89 to 2010 baseline. So we should expect sort of a little bit more heating overall based on this older baseline than a lot of other people are demonstrating. One of the things to notice in this is look at how freaking cold the Antarctic is here, minus 4.6. The Antarctic is just having a crazy time of it, crazy, crazy cold. And the interesting thing about this is that if the whole world is 0.2, according to this above the baseline, at least today, and the Antarctic is minus 4.6 C, that means that somehow the Antarctic is, well, it's been having this cold spell that's been going on and on and on. I mean, this is a huge, massive cold spell down at the bottom of the globe, which means the rest of the planet has to be sort of containing heat that would normally be exchanged with the South Pole through atmosphere, through currents, through different winds that would come down, through fronts that would break off. So yeah, it's really something to see this, just how crazy that is for the Antarctic to be going through these temperature extremes that just seem to be never ending this year. Winter down there right now, but I just want to focus, I guess, in particular here on Greece, because that's where these fires are taking place. And if we look at this map, let me just see if I can bring this over right here. We can see right down here is where the fires are taking place, and you can see just how hot it is down there, how much above average, these dark reds. There is a legend for these colors here. Let's see if I can bring that in. So these dark reds that we're having here are about 6 to 10 degrees C, so that'd be about maybe 12 to 20 Fahrenheit above sort of average that they're having right there. So brutally hot. Notice the brutally hot temperatures here above the Siberian fires and along the coast of the Laptev and Kara and East Siberian Sea. So another huge heat wave coming our way. Maybe it'll get here in the next couple days. So yeah, Greece. So what I want to do is sort of change from just discussing a disaster and doing that for this talk. I want to talk about an essay that I read and listened to, and have actually listened to several times and keep going back to over and over again. It is this essay by Catherine Ingram, an amazing, amazing essay. If you go to her website, catherineingram.com, facing extinction -2, I'll put a link down below so you can get to this really easily. And just a brilliant essay. You know, she streamlined the audio once. She says she recorded the audio of this in 2019, but the printed essay has been updated every month since then. It takes her a long time to read through this thing. This is a long essay. It would be a short book, actually, and I think she could easily have made this into a book. I want to go to one part of this in particular that really touches me. And hang on here. I'll find this. Here it is. Distraction and denial. And there is a part down here. And it's roughly these 3 paragraphs that I want to just read to you. I'm going to edit or maybe interject here and there, but let me just read this to you. This to me just is exactly what I'm feeling right now. I couldn't say it any better. As you begin to awaken to the specter of extinction, you will likely feel the powerful lure of your distractions. You may want to go back to sleep, but denial will become harder and harder to maintain, because once your attention has turned to this subject, you will see the evidence of it everywhere, both locally and globally. And you will find yourself among the throngs of humanity who are easily distracted and amused, playing with their toys as the house burns, tranquilized by the trivial, as Kierkegaard said, and speaking of the future as though it was going to go on as it has. After all, we made it this far. We have proven our superiority at figuring things out and removing obstacles to our desires. We killed off most of the large wild mammals and most of the indigenous peoples in order to take their lands. We bent nature to our will, paved over its forests and grasslands, rerouted and dammed its rivers, dug up what journalist Tom Hartman calls its ancient sunlight, and burned that dead creature goo into the atmosphere so that our vehicles could motor us around on land, sea, and air, and our weapons could keep our enemies in check. And now we have given its atmosphere a high fever. But as the old adage has it, a phrase I first heard in the 1980s, which has informed my view ever since, Nature Bats Last, which, by the way, is the name of Guy McPherson's YouTube channel. That's my lintel interjection right there. Let me continue. You may find yourself in the company of people who seem to have no awareness of the consequences we face, or who don't want to know, or who might have a momentary inkling but cannot bear to face it. I experienced this just a couple weeks ago with some friends I was playing music with. I wanted to talk about climate change and this fear I'm having, and they more or less told me to just shut up and play music. It hurts. I mean, it really genuinely hurts. And she is just saying exactly what my experience has been. Continue. You may find people who have all the data in hand but cannot see the implications, as though staring at Magellan ships on the horizon. This Magellan ships thing, this is sort of a famous story about when the ships first appeared on the horizon, somehow native people couldn't make out that they were ships coming. The story variously has this occurring for Columbus or Magellan or some other tribe or location. You can find all about this. It's a very apocryphal story, but I think it makes a good point that when we don't know what things are, we tend to not see them, right? When we don't understand something at its core or have pre-processed it or some feature of it in some way, then a lot of times we're just totally blind to it and we can't see it even if someone tries to point it out to us. So that's what she's saying. Going on. You may experience people becoming angry if you steer the conversation in the direction of the planetary crisis. You may sense that you're becoming a social pariah due to what you see, even when you don't mention it. And you may feel lonely in the company of most people you know. For you, it is not just the elephant in the room. It's the elephant on fire in the room. And yet you feel you can rarely mention it. But as Gandhi said, even if you are a minority of one, the truth is the truth. And this is such a brilliant essay. Thank you, Catherine Ingram, for writing this. You have written the definitive account of what we are experiencing collectively, those of us who choose to see it on the planet right now. I am exhausted. I have been having a lot of trouble sleeping. Waking up at 3 a.m., just my mind racing. I keep thinking, did I have caffeine late in the day? Maybe I have some sickness, some illness, maybe something's affecting me that's keeping me awake. I don't know what it is. But then last night I went to sleep at 8 p.m. and woke up around 5:30. I've been watching all of this stuff on the IPCC report. It is all over social media, but it's gone from the news right now. It's gone from websites. I guess we need our distractions, right? We need to be distracted by sex scandals. We need to be distracted by the rare event of bipartisanship in our politics. We need to be distracted by a COVID pandemic or by throngs of aliens trying to migrate into our country to escape the fact that they have no food and water where they live. We live in an era of distraction. And Catherine Ingram is just saying, it's okay. It's okay to be a minority of one. It's okay to see that elephant. And I am so grateful to her for saying that. So hopefully that helped you as well. Hopefully this helps you get through your day. Do have a listen if you have not yet listened to it or have a read. All right, everyone, this is Ellie Jacobson. See you later.